right, Shalom, we're the Hebrew Israelites that come in and week out to prophesy the downfall of Babylon the Great. All right, also known as the United Snakes of America, soon to be destroyed by nuclear fire. And when I say soon, I mean very soon. Right? Abad Babal. Soon, very soon. All right, we come out to wake up the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel: Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, Haitians. All right? And get you to repent, acknowledge your offense, pray for forgiveness, and get back to the law, statutes, and commandments in this book. All right? And first and foremost, and as always, all praises due to Yahweh. Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them. They taught us this truth, and shalom and salutation to all the brothers out pushing truth and pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. All right, so again, we got more of the same. Like the nigga that gets on the comment board talking about you saying the same thing, I need something new. No, nigga. What you need is death. And that's nothing new, because you're the same scoffer going back in the regeneration. That's what you do. That's what you're gonna do. And we need that because it's written in here. We need to identify with that. All right? We need to be able to see that. And we do. It's the book of Isaiah 29 and 21. Salaki, I'll start at 20. All right? For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. All right? Now here's where this thing is going right now. That make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. All right? And that's what these devils are doing right now. The setup is on. Okay? The setup is on. We're at the end of this thing. All right? And one way or another, we don't love our lives until the death. So it doesn't matter what the fuck happens. The Most High knows what's going to happen is written. It's going to be that. Like what they say, like it or lump it. This is the book of Salaki. This is 2 Peter 3:3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lust, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? That's basically what this nigga was saying. All right? He was talking shit. Oh, I've been watching. He kept saying Tahar. He wasn't showing reverence. See, the moment that a nigga is not showing reverence, at the very least, you could call him the elder Tahar. If you've been learning from him for 14 years. All right, and that's why you ain't learning nothing. Lock it, bear with me. Book of Isaiah 10. All right, because Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. Right. That's what the hell is going on. All right. The setup is on, and you could tell because they're throwing everything at the wall right now. Everything. This is what I'm looking for right here. This is 1 Peter 4:7. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer, all right? Be sober, why? You got to watch. You should be watching out because this damn devil is moving on you, all right? With this bugged out nigga that is running people over. That's this devil making this move. 2 Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou see as part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Okay, so, what are we supposed to glean from that? There's a 7.5 earthquake in Peru today, this morning, and then many earthquakes in California around that today. There's your earthquakes. And as far as uproars of the people, all right, pre-Omicron would be Thanksgiving. Post-Omicron would be Black Friday. So this thing just started 2 days, not even 2.5 days. After today, this is the 3rd day of Omicron. All right? What the hell do you think is going to be going on next Thursday after 1 week? Between now and next week, the uprising of people is going to be off the charts, because this devil is not having it no more. And I'm talking about you low-level devils that are being afflicted right here with Jake now. Suddenly, you ain't in your heaven no more. All right? You catching that oppression right here with your average Jake, right? And what you have to do in order to feel good about yourself is you have to continue, no matter, here it is, we're all catching hell together, but you still got to be better than somebody. How is that going to happen? Well, right now, they're making Jake the target. You pull out Omicron down in South Africa and the surrounding countries. Then you're going to move that thing all the way up from South Africa all the way to North Africa, which points at who? All right? Even though we ain't no damn Africans, it points straight at Jake. So we're the new face of whatever new variant or whatever, whoever you want to demonize right now. We clearly see, all right? We clearly know everything you're about to do. Yeah, I'm going to Corinthians. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We know exactly what you're doing, devil. And we encourage it. We encourage you to continue doing everything that you're doing right now to bring this thing to an end. All right? We're almost out of here. And it's going to go bad for you. It's going to go bad for the 2/3, you damn devils, and the rest of you heathens. It's going to go down really bad. And it started on Black Friday. All right? Let's give it a week and see where we're at then. You talk about lockdown, they're about to lock this bitch down Trump tight. I said Trump. Trump ass tight. They're going to lock it down. And by next Thursday, we should be able to see what kind of effect this new variant has. All right? I'm praying for foaming at the mouth, zombie-like behavior, all of that. to speed this thing up. All right? I'm ready for this thing to be sped up. How are they going to do that? They're going to release the new variant that was stronger than the one before. And the last one wasn't no joke. This one, right? It should, hey, the movie is getting better and better. All right? And all we can do is watch and stand in our lot, right? Hope and pray and keep the faith. That's all we can do. Salaki. I mean, it should be no question what time we're in. There's your earth witness. We just read that. We just read it. So, I mean, what do we have to go through? We got to get through Jacob's trouble. Second Ezra 9:3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, 7.5 today, and others all around there. That's earthquakes. That's one. And uproars of the people. Pre-Omicron, last week, before Thanksgiving, you got everybody. You got Brussels, Belgium. You got Denmark, Copenhagen, Denmark. You got Vienna, Austria. Okay? Everywhere in Europe, right? Motherfuckers are not having it. Australia, you don't even, you know what's going on over there. What's going on? Resistance. Uproars of the people. Clear. Now, that was before. Now what? They were languishing for a minute, so people got bold. We're going to get in the street. Now they're going to come Draco. They're going to pull out the Dracons. Okay? They're taking it up a measure. Draconian. They're going to challenge you out there in the streets. And I believe it was in Brussels, they were shooting live ammunition. Motherfuckers went down for good and for real. All right? What happens to your protest when they start shooting live ammunition? You think that's not coming? Rubber bullets and gas is a thing of the past. I'm gonna make a video with that title coming up as soon as I make a new fucking channel. This devil knows that his time is up. Pursuant to Revelation 12 and 12, we ain't going to read it. All right? He knows he hath but a short time. And as a result of that, you're going to see these things just speed up exponentially. Second Ezra 16:37, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. All right. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not for a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. All right, so are you ready for evils on every side, plagues on every side? Who's ready for that? Well, the men of the Lord, the true men of the Lord that don't run around saying, well, Jacob's trouble already passed. What the fuck is that? Well, the mark of the beast is not the chip, and Jacob's trouble already passed. What kind of man of the Lord are you? You're supposed to be out here prophesying against many cities of lamentations, woe, and destruction. Paraphrasing. All right? That's what this thing is about. Not prosperity, longevity, and we're going to go buy a piece of land where we can, have our own thing. Nigga, you haven't learned a damn thing from Tulsa. You're not going to have shit. You're going to get a new age bomb dropped on your ass. Because they gave one to a Jake. A Jake like this. I volunteer to go kill my own people on some Malcolm X and Martin Luther King type shit. And this thing is over. All right? It's clearly over. Yeah, so we can bring out the same scriptures. Hell, I only know 5 according to... Supposed to let that go, but it is what it is. Daniel 12:1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was, since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. All right? And there are them words. If you can't see this coming, all right, you ain't never been able to see simultaneously people all over the world rising up. If you can't see that and understand what that means, it means that you don't want to. Your head is solidly stuck in the sand because you're an ostrich. Okay? And that's not going to get you through this. You heard the tail end say, and at that time, thy people shall be delivered. You got to try to get yourself in that subcategory. All right? People ain't going to make it. Let me read on. Daniel 12 and 2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake. That's the 1/3. Some to everlasting life and some to shame and everlasting contempt. Or that's all of Jake. We're going to wake up, find out that we're Israelites. Some of you ain't going to make it even though you found out. So that's dividing the 1/3 from the 2/3. All right? Because who was sleeping in the dust of the earth? That was us. Daniel 12 and 3. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. All right? And that's the elect. And the men of the Lord down here handling this business. Got the biker boys over there. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. All right, hey, we're in that time now. We're at the time of the end, okay? And the knowledge has increased. And here we are. Jeremiah 30 and 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. All right? Who is he? He is talking about the 1/3, the elect of Israel. If you can't see how short these days are right now, it's crazy how short the days are. Absolutely crazy how a week could go by so fast. Right? How a month can fly by. The way that it is right now. Jeremiah 30:8, for it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. But they shall serve the Lord their power, and David their king, whom I will rise up unto them. Let's talk about the kingdom. So we close. This thing is almost over. We almost out of here, as they say. We almost out of here. Jeremiah 30:10. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity, and Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. For I am with thee, saith the Lord, to save thee. Though I make a full end of all nations whither I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. All right, so that's where this thing is going for us. That's our future. That's where it's going for us. This is Matthew 24:6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All right, and nation against nation, and kingdom against kingdom falls under uproars of the people. That falls under uproars. All these are the beginnings of sorrows, Jacob's trouble. Here we are in this day, and in that day, we're in that time, Salaki. Well, what's going to go on in Jacob's trouble? Matthew 24 and 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. So back to, we're going to love our lives, we're going to not love our lives unto the death. All right? Because we counted the cost, and we understand that's part of what this thing is about. And the word is out now that somehow we're the boogeyman. You see how they're doing this thing all together. They're demonizing the continent of Africa. They're calling us Africans. It's pretty simple to see, you know, how the things of Esau are searched out. We are not ignorant of this nigga's devices. It's apparent and easy to see what this devil is up to. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. For the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. The mark of the beast is not the chip. There ain't gonna be no Jacob's trouble. The whole thing. The whole thing. Prosperity. Get some land. Okay. But what about the missiles, though? What about the words in the book that tell you that nobody, we're slain of men, all 10 FEMA zones are slain of men, 7,000 that didn't get beamed up. What about that? What about your land in that day? You can't see that there's no time for, you can't even get a crop in the ground. Or for it to yield anything for that matter. Where's that thing going? So it's pretty easy to see. I mean, if your eyes are open, if you have ears to hear, if you have eyes to see, hey, we're so close to the end. The movie is getting good. All right? All you could do is put on the elect, hope for the best, keep yourself in prayer, pray unceasingly. All the instructions are in there. I was so mad after yesterday, waking up and finding out that I got a strike and that I can't post for a week, right? That I wasn't going to come out today. I was going to leave off and not come out. I was like, I'll just I'll work on the site tomorrow. Instead of coming out, I'll work on the site. It's all work, right? But I can do that after, I come out for an hour and a half. I could still, it's time to double down on this truth. Completely double down. The point is this. We're at the end, and nothing matters after this. See, there's going to come a time when, well, let's get it. Let's see if we can get the point across. Second Ezra 6:20. And when the world that begin to and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall all see together. We're in that time right now. And the children of a year old shall speak with their voices, and women with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old, and they shall live and be raised up. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. Okay? So that right there. Let's read that again. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. Okay? So we're going to go from one moment in time to the next moment in time where people are going to be afraid to look at it. There was a time in the 1960s and in the 1970s where black folk used to see each other, and it was customary for us to acknowledge each other. Then around the late 80s, that began to disappear. You couldn't even look at a nigga no more, or it was a fight. Okay? That's basically the same thing that's going on right now. But for everybody, you're not going to be able to look at somebody because you believe that that person is coming after you or sizing you up or is coming to take your shit. All right? You're not going to want to see anybody outside, let alone say, what's up? That's a sign of vulnerability. You got to come out mugging, looking crazy. You don't want to fuck with me. That's being afraid, right? You can't show no fear. You can't show no weakness. It's going to be that. From one day, it's going to be all right to be out there. Then the next day, some event is going to happen, right? The race war will be on. Martial law, you can't go outside or get shot. Marauders, okay? It's gonna go from you're cool, one moment you're cool, the next moment you can't even be seen by the next person for fear of being attacked and killed. Again, 2 Ezra 6:23. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, every man, they shall be suddenly afraid. It's going to go from day to night. In a moment. At that time shall friends fight one another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear, and those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. So it's just going to be crazy. From one moment to the next. See, now when you put this together with the birth pains, the birthing process, or the labor pains getting quicker and quicker, all right, then you put precept upon precept right there. There's a crescendo. It's a little slow right now, but a crescendo march to all-out chaos and fear, misplaced fear. All right, because healthy fear is the fear of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, who's conducting this whole symphony, if you will. The Most High is conducting the whole symphony. And the new song is going out and destroying Esau's utopia, which is wicked as all hell. And it's time for it to be destroyed. Okay? But the point is, hey, we're at the end of this thing. All right, so time for riding bikes, having a bike gang, having fun. You can't even see. I mean, people can't see what the hell is going on. People don't know it was an earthquake. People don't know that in Brussels, Belgium, people are getting shot. And they're getting shot here too, at so-called protests or whatever, right? And they're controlling the narrative of that thing. But in a minute, it's going to be so chaotic that everybody's going to be afraid. According to the scripture, it says the world. It says, again, I'm going to read this again. This is 2 Ezra 6:23. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly be afraid. And at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth, that means everybody, the inhabited earth, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. All right? Everybody, right? That has never happened before. Making this a time like none other, nor ever shall be. So, precept upon precept, line upon line, is clearly explaining crystal clear what the hell is going on. Okay, and people can't see it. People don't want to see it. But it's going to go on. It's going to go down anyway. You're going to get caught, what they call, you're going to be out there, you're going to get caught lacking. All right? But the men of the Lord are not going to get caught lacking. Why? Because we know what is important. These things are not, what is important when there's going to be nothing left? There's only two options: being saved, beamed up unto the chariots, or dying. At the end of this thing, being saved beamed up into a chariot, or dying by nuclear fire. That's it. And some people are going to make it through that didn't get saved, yeah? Okay? You're going to make it through because you got a job to do. All right? On the other side, you got a very important job to do. And you're going to do your job at the tip and the crack of a whip. The new crackers are coming into view. The new crackers. And I don't mean saltine. All right? And the new crackers are going to be like these Hamites, under the instruction, right, of the 1/3. 1/3 are going to be running shit from the top down, from 144 down to the 1/3, as we bring in back the children of Israel through our loins. We're going to instruct the Hamites to be the best crackers on the face of the earth. And it is what it is, whether you understand that or not. And we're not going to stop pushing the word. We're going to push the word until the trumpet sounds. Which trumpet? The trumpet that signifies the famine of the word, where that water ain't going to run no more. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Our job is done. Fishing season is over. Now it's hunting season. And they shall hunt them. Out of the holes of the rocks. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape, and shall see my salvation and the end of your world. Who's your? Esau. And the men that are received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth. All right? What does it mean received? That means you got beamed up. It means you got beamed up. And the men that are received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth, and the heart of the inhabitants shall be changed. What is their heart? Your mind. And turned into another meaning. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. That means there's no use for Esau anymore, except for to build up the kingdom. As for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which hath been so long without fruit, shall be declared. We're out here declaring this truth. Trying to bring in that fruit. All right, so that's the time. All right, when that time comes, when the time comes that you can't walk down the street, you can't look at somebody because you're afraid. Okay, with fear that is unprofitable. It's unprofitable fear, right? And you're going to be made to do things because of that fear. First of all, you're gonna be hungry. Then you gotta go. Act like a damn wild animal. You gotta prey on, it says you're gonna prey on your enemies. 2nd Ezra 6:24. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. Your homie who you know got some food, you know exactly where he lives. You're gonna set him up. Your own brother, okay? You set aside some food at your mama's house, who's no longer in the house, but the house is there. And they all know about the food. They didn't put none away. They can go take your food like it was all good. But wait, nigga, I thought that you were prospering. I thought you had a little jobby job and you were good to go. You wasn't hearing anything that I had to say. You didn't put aside a little something and you're going to steal my little food like that's going to keep, how long is that going to, you understand? That's going to get you through what? A half a month? You're going to squander that too. And after you've taken my little food, now you're a seasoned pro. Now you got to get out there, nigga, and go do some Mad Max ass shit for as long as you can before your demise. Because you ain't going to make it. But guess who's going to eat? Guess who's going to have water? And that little stash, that was symbolic. The Most High put the spirit on me to put that there so you could take it, right? Being the fucking demon that you are, like that's gonna get you through anything that's coming. No. You had 13 years to take heed to the word, and you didn't. You had it all worked out because you had a little state job. And you should be able to see where that gets you. That didn't get mom nowhere. Bless her heart. You understand? I don't hate my mother. For somebody who goes, yeah, but you. No. I honor my mother and my father. Okay? Because I'm commanded to. Right? And we don't always get along and we don't always agree. But she's my mother and I love her. All right? At some level, I got love for my brothers who are a bunch of goddamn demons who refuse to hear the truth and are going to perish on behalf of it. That doesn't mean that I love and honor you as my brother. If you're not my brother, right, then that's what it is. But you could be my brother and not be my brother pursuant to Yahushua himself. Okay, there's nothing I can do for you. We're in a time of great judgment, and everybody's going to be judged. Those that didn't hear the word you wasn't supposed to, it wasn't your lot. You know, what can I do? Convince the Most High, go against the Most High? No. Don't work like that. All right, so that time that we're in that time. We're simply just in that time. What time? Well, let's get it. Back to Matthew, Matthew 24 and 20. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter. Uh-oh. In about 24 days, it will officially be winter. All right? But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For when? For winter, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. There we are again. We're right back there. When? 24 days. And it's already started. That thing has already started. What? Great tribulation. Earthquakes today. Uproars of the people today. Pestilence. Famine is coming. There's a nigga on a bike in front of my house, bold as fucking can be, rifling cars, right in front of me. Defiant as fuck. And that's going to grow. That's not going nowhere. That's going to grow. Why? Because we're in that time. And no man can turn it back. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, like we know that this time is flying by right now, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. And there's the elect. There's two words in all of the, it says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Okay? But for the elect. Who's going to be saved? The elect. Most High shortening the days to save the elect. The elect of Israel, the 1/3, and the 144,000, which some people don't even know. You call yourself out here preaching for 10 plus years. You don't know. All you know is 144,000. What about the next line? What about the great multitude? You don't know who they are? What are you preaching? All right, I might only know 5 scriptures, but I know the ones that are most important, and that's my lot. All right? So with that, let me check this. It's all just, hey, timing. Timing is everything. All right? What time are we in? We're at the time of the end. We're at the time where you won't be able to walk down the street. You got to get ready for it. Okay? There's no amount of food that you can store. There's no amount of water that you can store that's going to get you through this stuff. Yeah, you could, different times are going to be different. When this shit cracks off and there's lawlessness and nobody, you ain't ready for it, it's going to be tough at first, crazy. The first 3 days is going to be crazy. The first 2 weeks is going to be crazy. Then it's going to ebb and flow. But it's not going to go away overnight. This is Matthew 24 and 13. But he that shall endure till the end, the same shall be saved. So we got to make it all the way through this thing, no matter how long it takes. It's going to take a while. All right? Jump down to 30 or 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, that's those that have endured until the end, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. All right? And we're in that time right now. We are in that time right now. Right? And we don't know how quickly this thing can go down. The Most High said he's speeding up the days. Why? To save the elect. So that's what time we're in. What do we got to do? We got to stand strong in this truth. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times. That's the time we're in. All right? So continue to stand strong in this thing. All right? Get yourself ready. And this weather, wow. You know? It says pray that your flight be not in the winter, but if this is the winter, then I'll take it. And it's not that way for everybody. I know that it's snowing in some parts of Babylon the Great. I know it's snowing. But the Most High is not going to put on you more than you can handle. So that's a beautiful thing. Yapa. Right now, I'm being observant. I'm checking out a couple of crackheads that are obviously high. I got to pull, got to be on post at the same time. I'm reading, I'm speaking. It is what it is. Matthew 24 and 44. Therefore be ye ready also, Salah. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Blessed is the servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. All right, and this is, hey, we're being diligent. We're giving diligence to make our calling and election sure. All right, so it's no big thing to come out here on the highways and the byways. All right, hey, we're skilled craftsmen at this point, you know. Yesterday I thought I saw a chariot. Today I know I see an airplane. But I have hope, though. The water Yahweh, while Yahweh shy, for keeping the spirit on me, right? To come out here and do this work. Just the thought of not coming out, I'm like, now is not the time for any of that. Now is not the time for none of that. All right? This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. All right? Philippians 2 and 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. All right? So with that, we're going to say, all praises due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem HaKadosh. All right, double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word, the truth and its sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. Shalom.